Hello, welcome to Himdeve development, where we are preparing the best tutorials to make your mobile application development easier and more efficient. The goal for this tutorial is following. We will create a detail page for the image gallery. We'll learn how to work with PhotoView and PhotoViewGallery. We'll learn how to create our own image carousel and also how to use the Carousel Slider component. We'll show how to create a ripple effect animation on image tab action. We'll learn how to zoom in, zoom out and rotate an image. And we'll also learn how to work with Flutter widgets like stack, positioned and InkWell. First, we open our existing application from the previous tutorial and we open the portfolio_gallery_sub_page.dart file. This will be our entry file for this tutorial. We run the application to see the progress so far. We can see that no action is taken when we click on the image. And you can also notice that there is no tapping response to the image, the so-called ripple effect. The user does not know that he even tapped the image. Let's go back to the code and first we remove unnecessary comments here for this tutorial. The ripple effect is a small wave-like pattern that usually forms on the surface of a liquid when something drops on it. In Flutter, the ripple effect is a visual touch feedback on user interaction with the components on the screen. Flutter provides an InkWell widget to perform this effect. InkWell can wrap individual widgets to provide a layer for the ripple effect. How to combine InkWell and our image together? In Flutter, the ink component is ideal for this job using its ink.image constructor. The ink.image constructor has the following attributes: image, in which we use the asset image provider with the path to the image in our assets folder, fit, in which we insert boxfit.cover, and child, where we put the InkWell widget. InkWell widget has a required on-tap attribute. We launch the app and we can see that our images are tinted black. To give the ripple effect a place where it can show up, we wrap the ink.image constructor in a material widget with a transparent color. We test the ripple effect. Next, we add an action to go to the image detail after tapping on the image. We add the onImage tab method as a callback parameter to the _buildImageWidget method, and we set this parameter to the InkWell widget into the onTab attribute. We will extract this method into a new file portfolio_gallery_image_widget.dart in the components folder. It will be a stateless widget, the portfolio gallery image widget. It will have two required parameters, image path and onImageTab. Image path represents the path to the image and onImageTab is a void callback function that will respond to a tap on the image. We set these parameters into the constructor. From the portfolio gallery subpage class, we grab the contents of the _buildImageWidget method and we paste it to the build method of the portfolio gallery image widget class. We go back to the portfolio_gallery_sub_page.dart file and we return the portfolio gallery image widget instead of the _buildImageWidget method. We set the image path attribute to a specific image path and we insert the navigation.push method to change the page in the onImageTab attribute. We want to change it to the portfolio gallery detail page. We use material page route, which we create in the _createGalleryDetailRoute method. We need to create the portfolio gallery detail page class first. Therefore, we create a portfolio_gallery_detail_page.dart file in the pages portfolio folder. It will be a stateful widget. We define the required image paths and current index parameters. The image paths parameter represents the image path list, and current index represents the currently selected image index. In the build method, we return only empty container for now. We go back to the Portfolio Gallery subpage class and we import the Portfolio Gallery detail page class here. We set the parameters. And we test the navigation to the new screen, Image Gallery Detail. In the build method, we'll return the scaffold widget to which we set the black background color. We add the UpBar widget to the UpBar attribute to have a back button for returning back to the previous page. We also define its background color to black. We can test it. We insert the _build_content method into the body attribute. In this method, we would like to display the image detail. We'll use the PhotoView component, which must first be defined as a dependency to the pubspec YAML file. The PhotoView library is currently in version 0.9.2. So we'll return the PhotoView widget in the _build_content method. PhotoView has several attributes. We start with the image provider attribute, where we put the asset image provider with the current image. To get the image paths variable from stateful widget to the state class, we use the getter widget method, specifically widget.imagePath, and the same for the current index variable. We test the functionality. This component allows us to zoom the image in and out. However, as we can see, it can be minimized to such a level that it will disappear. To avoid this, we set another min_scale attribute that defines the minimum size that the image will be allowed to shrink. We can test it. The same goes for zooming in, therefore we set the maxScale attribute, which defines the maximum size that the image will be allowed to enlarge. We can test it. Another attribute is Enable Rotation, which allows the user to rotate the image on the screen. We can test it. We can also set the background color using the Background Decoration attribute, which defines the background behind the image, such as color. Of course, PhotoView has many other attributes. Now we define the PhotoView Gallery widget instead of the PhotoView widget. The PhotoView Gallery has a built-in page view with all the effects, ensuring a complex pagination between images, and thus solve the basic functionality of Image Carousel. PhotoView Gallery also has several attributes, and we start with the Page Options attribute, into which we insert the PhotoView Gallery Page Options helper class that wraps individual options of page in PhotoView Gallery component. We can insert here just those properties or attributes defined for PhotoView that are image provider, min scale, and max scale attributes. And we set the Enable Rotation attribute directly for PhotoView Gallery. We launch the app and we can see that it works just like with the PhotoView widget. Now we'll add another image to our so-called image carousel. After launching the application, we can see that we can slide between images. We can set additional attributes such as scroll physics, which allows us to change the paging effect of individual images. Next, scroll direction attribute, which defines the direction of scrolling. We can scroll both horizontally and vertically, and so we can define many other attributes. If we wanted to add all the images to Image Carousel, we could either manually insert them into the PhotoViewGallery page options list, which is not very elegant, or we could use the map function for our image list and for each image path we could return the PhotoViewGallery page option class with the particular attributes. We run the application. Let's change the scrolling direction. And then we can see that in our image carousel there are all the images from the gallery. However, after tapping on the image in the gallery, it does not display the correct initial image detail. Therefore, we need to define page controller. The page controller will manage the pages of our images to achieve the effect of image carousel. In the initState method, we initialize the page controller and we define the initial page argument to display the currently selected image. Again, to get current index from stateful widget to state class, we use the getter widget, specifically widget.currentIndex. And we add another page controller attribute to PhotoViewGallery and we put the _page controller variable into it. We can then test that a detail of the image is displayed correctly. So far we have created a PhotoViewGallery widget with explicitly defined items. In case of dynamic definition, we will use the builder method. The PhotoViewGallery.builder constructor has several attributes. We define some of them right now. We start with the item count attribute that represents the number of items and we insert the widget.imagePaths.length here. Another attribute is the builder, which is used to create items in the gallery dynamically. We return here the PhotoViewGallery page options object, a wrapper that wraps the image and its associated options. We will test the app. Another interesting attribute of PhotoViewGallery may be loading builder, but this attribute makes more sense when we want to load an image from the internet, which may take longer to load depending on the speed of the internet. However, we put circular progress indicator here and we wrap it with the center widget. We extract the creation of PhotoViewGallery into the new _build PhotoViewGallery method. The next step will be to define an indicator to indicate the currently displayed image. In _build content method, we return the stack widget. The stack widget allows us to make multiple widgets overlay each other. In our case, we'll use this by first inserting a widget that displays the image in the image gallery, and on it, at the bottom, we display the indicator bar of our images from the list. So we create the second method defining the stack widget _build indicator. In this method, we return the position widget, which determines where a widget child is located in the stack. It has several attributes. We set the bottom attribute to 0 to ensure that the bottom of the child widget is placed at the bottom of the stack widget. We set both the left and right attributes to 0. Since both attributes are set to 0, the child widget touches the edges of the stack widget with its edges, so it is stretched to the width of the stack widget. We insert the container widget into the child attribute to set the dimensions, margin and color. When the application starts, we can see a red bar at the bottom of the screen which overlays the PhotoViewGallery widget. We extract this container into the _build method. Then we insert the row widget into the child attribute, centering it using the main axis alignment attribute. And for the row's children attribute, we'll use a map function to create a widget for each image in the list. In our case, it will be a small dot representing the image in the gallery. We create this dot in the _build method, which will have the path to the image as a parameter. In the _build method, we create a container widget and we insert a circle-shaped box decoration into the decoration attribute using the shape attribute. And we set the color to gray for all the dots representing the images in the gallery. However, to distinguish the dot representing the currently displayed image, we'll set the dot color to white. We define the index of the currently displayed image _current index, and we initialize it with an index obtained from a tab on an image in the gallery. We set another PhotoViewGallery attribute onPageChange, in which we set the _current index variable to the value of the image index where the user slided in. Then we go back to the _build method. We can determine whether this is the currently displayed image by comparing the _current index parameter with the index obtained by the index of function of a list. We can test it. We extract the row widget into the _build.Indicator method. If we wanted to display a small image carousel slider at the bottom of the screen instead of dots bar indicator, we could use the carousel _slider library. In pubspec YAML file we define carousel _slider library with the current version 1.4.1. The _build image carousel method returns the carousel slider widget. Again, we have an option to use the explicit carousel slider constructor or the dynamic carousel slider.builder constructor. We use the dynamic constructor carousel slider.builder. This constructor has the following attributes: item count, where we set the number of items in our image list; item builder, which creates items dynamically, in our case mini images, for which we can again use our portfolio gallery image widget, which has already defined a ripple effect. We insert the path to the image to the required image path parameter, and in the onImage tab attribute we call the jump to page function of the page controller with the index of the selected item. We can test it. Next, we add the height attribute, which sets the height of the carousel slider. We define a viewport fraction attribute. It is the fraction of the viewport that each page should occupy. We set this attribute to 0.21, which means that every page, or image in our case, will fill 21% of the size of the carousel slider. For some reason, when I set the value to 0.2, I sometimes got an error, probably a minor bug in the carousel slider library for this version. Therefore, we set the value to 0.21. Another attribute is enlarge center page, which specifies if the current page should be larger than the side images, creating a feeling of depth in the carousel. As we can see that after tapping on the image in the gallery, the currently selected carousel slider index is not selected. To fix this, we'll define another attribute, initial page, which defines the current page of the carousel slider. We run the application and test the final functionality. And with this is our 10th part of this first series of Flutter tutorials completed, and of course you can find the complete source code on the GitHub as well as on our website himdeve.com, where you have a detailed description of everything we went through in this video. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you, bye bye.